Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be taking 3 thrift flips under $5 and recreating them. This piece was a half off item and I paid about $1.70 for it. It's just a piece of artwork, a sign with words on it, and I'm just going to take some sandpaper and scuff up all of the edges, the wood, because I'm going to be painting that and I want to get a nice prep surface for my paint to adhere to. I'm using Dixie Belle paint in the color called Holy Guacamole, and I'm painting the whole entire frame and the whole entire canvas area of this sign. I just want to get down a really good base coat as well as cover up those words. Once my base coat color of the Holy Guacamole is dry, you can even take a blow dryer to speed up this process. I'm using a Waverly brand chalk paint in the color called Plaster, and I'm going over the Holy Guacamole, and I'm making sure to kind of dry brush some areas because I do want some of that grain to peek through, but I want white to be my main color. When my white paint is dry, again, you can take a blow dryer to speed that process up. I'm sketching out a vase and some various types of flowers because I will be painting a vase of flowers. I'm taking some purples and some pinks and going in a circular motion, circular brush strokes to simulate a peony type flower. I am using different colors of whites and purples and pinks on my paintbrush, but I'm not mixing them. This just kind of helps simulate an impressionistic look of different depths and highlights in the flower. Then I'm going to be doing some daisy type flowers, and I use a darker brown color and I make the inner part of the flower with a mixture of white and yellow. And then I'm making the petals, and I'm just taking my paintbrush and starting from the middle of the flower center and pulling that paintbrush outwards to create the petals. Using my blow dryer, I am drying all of my flowers and moving on to the next step, which will be the leaves of the flowers. I'm just taking my paintbrush and forming leaves and stems, and I'm using multiple colors of paint on my paintbrush without mixing them. Again, this is an impressionistic style and it's going to create lowlights and highlights and shadows. And then I'm taking some various greens and browns and just kind of filling in all of the empty spaces around the flowers. I want my vase to mimic the look of a glass vase, so I'm just using a turquoisey blue color and outlining the vase, and I add some white in there to give it some highlights as well. And then I'm going to make a circular oval around where I would like the top of the water to be inside of my vase. For my second thrift flip, I picked up this little miniature bench at an auction. I bought it in an entire lot, and there was probably about 8 or 9 things in this lot, so I'm just going to say I paid $1 for this. First of all, I'm taking it and I'm scuff sanding it with my sandpaper, and I'm doing this in the house, so I'm misting everything down so I don't get sanding dust everywhere. Then I'm going to clean all that sanding dust up really well. I'm using painter's tape to create stripes on the seat of this little bench, and I'm using the painter's tape to determine the width in between my stripes. So once I apply the painter's tape all 3 pieces in a row, I will remove that middle piece and move it over to the other side of my third stripe and continue on until I've completed the entire seat of the bench. Hopefully that makes sense. And then I'm using a matte varnish from Waverly and an artist brush, and I'm applying this to the edges of the tape to help prevent bleed through. Once that is completely dry, I am taking that Holy Guacamole color from Dixie Belle again, and I'm painting the whole entire bench in that color. I had to use about 2 coats to get full coverage of this paint. Using my blow dryer again, I speed up the process of the dry time, and then it's time to remove these pieces of tape. And look at those beautiful crisp, clean lines. I'm going to be adding a stencil over top of my stripes, and I'm using this gilding wax in the color white gold and an artist brush, and I'm just tapping on the gilding wax over top of the stencils until the stencil is completely filled in. I'm being careful not to push that gilding wax underneath of the stencil because that will cause bleed through. So I'm trying to tap straight up, straight down onto the stencil. I then slowly and gently remove the stencil and reveal that beautiful shining gilding wax. I have this scrap piece of tissue paper that I am going to use on the back part of this little bench, and I'm using Aleene's decoupage medium and applying that on to the back of the bench with an artist brush and trying not to make areas too thick. And then I'm going to apply my scrap piece of tissue paper and just very gently try and position it so it doesn't tear. Then I lift it back up, and then I'm just applying more of the decoupage medium where it feels like it needs a little bit more to stick down. And then I just continue that process in sections until I have this tissue paper completely tacked down. And then I'm using a piece of balled up saran wrap and I'm rubbing it over top of the tissue paper to try and smooth out some of those wrinkles. Once the tissue paper is completely dry, and this is very important, it must be completely dry or else you most definitely will tear your tissue paper. I'm taking an X-Acto blade and I'm trimming off the excess at the corner where the back meets the side. And then I'm going to take some sandpaper and gently sand off the excess at the top and the bottom of the back piece where there is excess tissue paper. Off camera, I sprayed this with some lacquer to seal it. My third project, I'm using these embroidery hoops and I paid $3 for all 3 of them. I'm only going to be using one of these hoops today, and I'm using some scrap fabric that I have in my stash, and I'm doing this one in shades of gray. Using a cutting mat, an acrylic ruler, and a wavy blade on my rotary cutter, I'm going to cut strips in 1 by 10 inches, and I am going to do many strips. For my next step, I'm going to take these strips of fabric, I'm going to fold them in half with the pattern side facing me, then position the 2 end pieces on the front of the embroidery hoop, then bring the loop around the back and pull the 2 end pieces through the loop, then pull it to tighten it. This ensures that the knotted look of the fabric is on the front, and then I just trim off any excess of the fabric. You don't want your fabric too long or else it will be floppy and it will not stand up straight. Then I just continue on for the rest of the wreath until I have it completely full. If you want, you can take a little bit of hot glue and Just put a little bit in the center of each one of your knots so it doesn't come loose or unravel. And then I just pull everything really tight. If you add your hot glue to the center of your knot, this is not a necessary step. And then just for a little extra addition to this wreath, I'm using a piece of vintage lace that I had in my stash and just making a cute little bow. Off camera, I attached that with some hot glue. And then my little rag wreath is finished. And then I am finished with my 3 simple little thrift flip projects on a budget. I spent less than $5 for all of these items, and all the materials used just came right out of my stash. So, simple, easy, budget-friendly flips. I love them. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Did I make them as cute as I think I did? Thanks so much for watching, you guys. And if I've inspired you today, please hit that like and subscribe button. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye.